the information that you get from like consuming a shroom is almost like ingested consciousness and wisdom from our buried ancestors. So mushrooms are just different.
Another thing I wanted to ask was about the spiritual aspects, not only of you as a person, but your business. And I found that you did an ayahuasca trip,
Mm.
and that particular experience is something I've heard about, and I
Mhm.
personally haven't done. But ayahuasca is an herb, an ancient plant herb, correct? And how similar is that to normal herb consumption, and how different is it?
Oh, it's extremely different. Like ayahuasca is like a brew actually. So there are a few things that go into making like ayahuasca itself. Based on the way
Hmm.
it tastes, I say that there has to be cacao in there. Um, and probably some other ingredients. I don't know the exact formula. That's definitely something that you'd have to talk to some bush people for. But it's very different. So like if you take like for example any of my products, that's not equivalent to taking like ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is more of a psychedelic medicine. Um
Mm.
there might even I don't there might be actual shrooms in there too. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But it's a psychedelic and it really does take you really deep within so that you can see yourself.
Mm.
Um and so when you're dealing with like psychedelics, um, when you're dealing with psychedelics of that like intensity, you really want to be supervised and you want to make sure that you're in a safe space. Like you wouldn't just like I wouldn't go to the kitchen, make ayahuasca and drink it. Like if especially if I had to like go out a meeting I needed to go to or anything like that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
people like they sit in plant medicine ceremonies when they just want to get closer to themselves. They want to do
Hmm.
some most times they go out of the country because it's not really something that you can find locally.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's very much so different from like your average nettle leaf or peppermint, red raspberry, Oregon grape.
Right.
Like, these are just herbs that are more cleansing. Ayahuasca
Hmm.
is pretty cleansing as well, but it's more psychedelic for sure.
So it would be like a psychological cleansing versus like a
Yeah,
functional,
exactly.
like physiological one. Okay.
Exactly. But it definitely has so many health benefits, so many health benefits. I would say the equivalent to like ayahuasca versus regular herbs is basically like taking a psychedelic mushroom versus eating
Mm.
lion's mane mushroom. You're not going to get high from eating a lion's mane mushroom. You're going to get benefits from it and it's going to taste
Yeah.
good and it's going to be healing in some,
Hmm.
aspect, but you consume the ayahuasca or the shroom rather, and you're going on a trip, like
Man, and that's the other thing I was gonna ask is I've done shrooms before, but of course it's different from ayahuasca, and it's just different from like I threw mushrooms in my food, you know?
first of all, we are more anatomically like and genetically similar to mushrooms than any like than plants, than
Mm.
animals and all that other stuff. Like we are more similar to mushrooms. There's a documentary on Netflix. I forget the name of it, but it basically talks about that. Um,
Hmm.
but I think that the reason why mushrooms are so powerful is they're foraged from like ancient grounds and like lands. And I
Right.
believe that some of our and I feel like what the information that you get from like consuming a shroom is almost like ingested consciousness and wisdom from our buried ancestors because
Mm.
mushrooms in order for a mushroom to grow, mushrooms aren't like regular plants. Like they grow really deep within the ground and they get their nutrients from like this very different network. I believe it's called like the mycelium or mycellular network.
Hmm.
Um, but mushrooms like grow in the most craziest environments because they're able to make the best out of like BS. Like mushrooms are able to extract nutrients from like I don't know, like the sewer for like lack of better words. Like it's gonna
Hmm.
find something in that sewer that can be used to offer some kind of benefits to whoever consumes it. So mushrooms are just different. Like
Yeah,
they're
they are, and it was never something I considered like okay, I want to work myself up to this, but do you think that is something people should do or caution? Like if you're starting to take your health more seriously, you want to do more herbs than like pharmaceutical, bioengineered drugs, and you want to start completely evolving your life. Do you suggest psychedelics at least once or ever so often in people's lives?
I think that a lot of people can benefit from microdosing. Not necessarily like taking like they don't have to like pop a whole shroom, but like at least
Uh,
microdosing. Like shrooms really have the potential to make you a happier person. I feel like they help you to like get on the same frequency as like whatever's in your environment. For me, I'm like naturally a grateful person. So when I'm like on a trip, I'm like absolutely grateful. Like I am just completely like, oh my God, like it's just so much abundance around me. I see it even more. I'm looking around, I'm like, oh my
mhm.
God, there's a roof over my head. I have great friends. My mom,
Yeah.
me, I have a good relationship with this person, with that person. My business is, like, and so I feel like you can definitely benefit from like microdosing. I would recommend if anybody is open to doing that, start with microdosing because it can also help you become more receiving of the herbs and all the healing
Mhm.
things that you're consuming because shrooms help you develop and foster new neural pathways in your brain. So
Hey, it's UraelB, and I want to say thank you again for tuning in to this conversation. Your attention is extremely valuable. So if you took any value from this video, please consider liking, sharing this with someone, and subscribing to this channel. It goes a long way. And stay tuned for more. Check out one of these videos right here.